everyone, welcome back to another video. Inktober has begun, or when I started filming this it had begun. I've failed Inktober once again. It's an art challenge that I really want to do, and it's really excites me and inspires me to get my inks out and start inking and making ink drawings, but I can never do the actual challenge. And I even tried to make it easier on myself this year by making my own prompt list. I only did like 15 days prompts instead of the whole 30 days because I thought, oh, that's half the drawings, that should make it easier, but it didn't. I did share this prompt list in my studio diaries and on my Instagram, and the people that have joined in have made such amazing drawings. I'm really surprised that there were so many people that actually participated using my prompt list. It makes me really happy, and I've seen some really cool drawings. So to everyone that's joined in and used my prompt list, thank you. But yeah, for an art challenge month that really calls to me, it's such a difficult challenge to participate in because I'm usually at Comic-Con at this time of year, so I'm usually in a rush to make books and prints, but this year I wasn't even going to Comic-Con, so I felt like I had no excuse. But my comic did come out. My comic is now on chapter 3, so that is available to read. I will put the link in the description. It updates every Monday, so I was kind of focused on that. I really wanted to get everything right for that coming back out, and I just wasn't very happy with what I was making, the artwork, especially this first one. The first prompt was actually autumn harvest, and I had this idea for a sort of autumn spirit kind of creature made out of like orange and dark leaves, dying leaves, berries and everything, but I was really unhappy with this result. I shared it on Instagram, a lot of you liked it, but I did feel the need to redo it, so I was already putting a lot of pressure on myself to just make a fantastic drawing every day, and I know that's not possible. It's so difficult because I feel with all the time that I have, I should be able to do much more than I actually do, and it really stresses me out, so I was really putting pressure on myself to make this a really cool drawing, and it didn't work out. There are a lot of aspects I do like, and I really love doing ink washes. I feel like the ink wash on this in particular actually looks really nice. I do really like that, but I don't know, there's something about the face. I did want a sort of faceless creature, but it almost feels a bit too formless, like there isn't much consideration for the 3D aspect of it, because I've been really trying to up my skills with my work, and something I've been trying to teach myself is the use of breaking down characters and objects and people into shapes, but into 3D shapes, and how they would interact with the world and make it look more real. That's what I want to do. I kind of want to keep my style, but I want to make it look more real, like these characters are actually in these environments, or they actually look like 3-dimensional, if you know what I mean. But yeah, especially this ink washing that I was doing just then, where I kind of just started drawing straight with the brush. I really like that effect, so I did take that on to the next drawing, which you'll see. This one, yes. I really like the character concept of this strange spirit imp-like creature, so I decided to do another type, but I decided to make them look much more impish and much more, not exactly evil, but they look like a troublemaker. I imagine this creature to steal people's harvests if they don't gather their fruits and vegetables quick enough. This little guy comes along and just steals everything and doesn't give it back. So yeah, again, I'm going straight in with the ink, and I really like that. So even though I didn't like the first picture, I learnt a lot from doing it, and I was able to take that knowledge and apply it to this next drawing. So I guess I was learning as I was doing these. I also feel that maybe this drawing fits the prompt Autumn Harvest a little bit better because it's actually showing a harvest and what you kind of get during this time of the year, like the pumpkins. I would have liked to add more to this. I always want to add way more detail and more aspects to a drawing, but I feel like sometimes I put myself off because I think that's going to be a lot of work and I'm not going to be able to draw it the way that I want. I want it to come out exactly the way I envision it in my head, but that doesn't normally happen. But as I'm looking back on these drawings as well, I remember feeling like I was really struggling with these, but now that I'm looking back on these ink drawings, I'm actually really happy with them. I do really like them, and I only got to the third prompt, sadly, but I kind of want to carry on this prompt list maybe on my own time and try and actually finish it, because I like the idea of maybe carrying this character on in future prompts that I put together. I kind of like this idea of him collecting more and more things and just stealing more and more things until he's got this massive hoard of stuff. Maybe he's like a minion of the creature that I drew previously, sort of like a younger version of that creature, and he just keeps bringing more and more stuff to that older fae or spirit to try and impress them, and the older spirit's just like, please stop, you're gonna get in trouble, stop stealing things. I think something I did struggle with though is the contrast of ink. I felt like some of this looks too similar in tone, especially this one that I'm working on, and not the next one but the one after. I feel like I really struggle with tone and contrast with inks. I can't seem to dilute the inks to the consistency that I want without making it either too light or too dark, or making it all look the same tone. So that's something I would like to practice more, because I really like inks, I really do. I want to kind of incorporate them more into my watercolour work as well, especially if I use some of my coloured inks as like background washes, because then obviously they're not going to lift when I go over them with watercolour, because I think that's what's really cool about inks, is that once it's down, it is down, there's no getting it off once it's dry, which is kind of intimidating as well, but I don't know, I think I'm quite comfortable with permanent mediums where once it's down and there's no going back. I also kind of started just splattering ink on my work. Normally I would never do anything like this, but because I felt like I was really struggling with this piece, I was kind of more experimental and just thought, you know, whatever, I'm just gonna splatter ink over it. But I actually love the effect that it made. So yeah, I think overall, looking back, I like this, but at the time I was really struggling. So the next prompt I didn't actually film because I felt like I was really struggling and I wasn't producing work that I liked, so I just kind of relaxed and did what I wanted. So the next prompt was outfit for a fave, and I just wanted to draw Spinel again. I've been drawing her quite a lot, she's become one of my favourite characters, so I just wanted to experiment with a different ink colour. I've got these really nice blue fine liners and lovely blue ink, so I just wanted to test a different colour out, and I actually really like the way it came out. So yeah, again, there's a lot I would change though. I think I would change the pose, some of the outfit details, but overall it's okay. So on to the next day. The next day was if I remember, Beachcombing Treasure Haul, and I decided to draw that little imp again from day one, and I kind of wanted to draw him finding something else, like some really cool treasure. I wanted to draw like the moon and everything. I'm really pleased with that moon actually. I feel like it actually looks like the moon, you know, with the dark patches and everything. I was really worried I was just going to keep it plain white, but I really wanted to add those splotches, and I feel it did turn out quite cool looking. I really like that moon. I also really happy with the treasure chest. I knew I wanted to put loads of detail in this. Again, putting too much pressure on myself for what is almost a daily drawing challenge. I suppose it's every other day, but that's still kind of difficult. But I'm really happy with that treasure chest and the rock pools and the way that the ink, I feel like I'm getting kind of better with my ink washes and being able to layer it and not make it look too patchy. There's still a lot of patchiness with it, but I feel like it kind of adds to the effect of this drawing. As I do go on further with this drawing though, I do get kind of frustrated at the end. I feel again I struggle with the contrast of the ink. I feel like I made too many tones look too similar, especially the rock pool that I draw after. I tried to add this sort of water effect with white ink to look like ripples in the water and almost like a reflection from the moon, but I really don't think that I caught that look that I was going for. At this point I was really liking it. I really liked how the rocks were looking. I felt like they kind of had some form to them, because when it comes to drawing rocks in environments, I really hate when things look formless or like you can't tell what they are. And after that though, this is where I kind of get really frustrated with it, because I try and add this water effect and make things look like they're underwater, and that's when I start to really dislike it and get really frustrated. But when I finished, I actually put the drawing away, just had a break, put my drawings away, put the sketchbook away out of sight, and when I came back to it I felt like I could be proud of it for some reason. I really actually like the final result. I would still like to go back and try and redo the water and the way that it looks in the rock pool, and maybe add other details, maybe some other sea creatures like some sea anemones or some crabs. But I feel like, again, this is me putting too much pressure on myself for what is like a sketchbook drawing, and what it should be is just practice. I think that's what Inktober is about, is just practicing with ink and all that. So yeah, I'm going to try and not beat myself up if it doesn't come out exactly the way I envision it. But yeah, this Inktober was weird for me, because all before October started I was really excited about Inktober, and then when Inktober came I wanted to do anything but inking. I wanted to do painting, animation, anything but actual inking drawings. And it's really funny because I always get really excited and get like new pens in and new colours of inks for Inktober, but I didn't do it this year, thank goodness, because I normally put a lot of money into making Inktober drawings. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this colour, I gotta get this new ink brush pen. So this year I just tried to use up what I've already got, because I have got a nice collection of fine liners and ink colours, so I didn't want to kind of get into this habit of always buying new stuff for an art challenge that I never actually complete. So that is it for this video. We're coming to the end. Overall, I do kind of want to try and finish my prompt list. It's getting kind of late, but I could do it on my own time, and that's what I'd really like to do. I am happy with my final pictures, I do feel like they look quite nice. There's a lot I would like to maybe redo, but I'm going to just try and move on to a new drawing and just take what I've learned and these ideas and apply them to other pictures and other things that I want to make. So yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.